wrote an article about could the Browns explore Dorian Thompson-Robinson trade before Week 1? Take us through that, and the follow-up that I'm going to have for you, is there that big of a difference between Tyler Huntley, Dorian Thompson-Robinson?
Yeah, so it all kind of stems from the report. I know The Athletic put it out earlier in the week just about how the Browns are at least open to the option of trading Dorian Thompson-Robinson, which a year ago would have been crazy to hear because we know how they felt about him last year, so much so that they, traded Josh Dobbs to make him the number 2 quarterback behind Deshaun Watson. Um, but yeah, so it sounds like it's at least on the table. I don't know that there's like a massive difference between the two. I would say the biggest differences are that I think NFL teams, if you're looking around considering trading him, they kind of know what Tyler Huntley's ceiling is at this point. He's been a career backup, did some nice things for the Ravens. He started games, but you kind of know what you're getting. DTR, I think, gives that aura of, well, there might be another level to his game, right? Like there's some unknown with him, an untapped potential, if you will. So there might be a little bit more value there if you're trying to maybe get a draft pick back in return than maybe what you would get from a trading Tyler Huntley. And I also think the other big difference is just their contracts. Like DTR is on a rookie deal. You have control of him for 3 more years. And so that matters to people if you're trying to maybe develop that guy. And it might even matter to the Browns enough where they're like, well, we actually don't want to trade him. But I just find it interesting that they're sort of pivoting off this stance of how much they love DTR. I've kind of been operating under the premise that of the two, DTR would probably win that job because I don't, like you said, I don't know there's a massive difference between the two right now, but because of the other factors, the contract, the fact that he was a draft pick, there's more value there. There's an untapped potential. I think those reasons are why I kind of felt like he ends up being on this roster. But they do have to sort of make a decision here in the next week about which of those guys is on and which of those guys is off. I don't think either can be sort of slipped through waivers and get back to the practice squad. So you got to decide which one you're doing. And I guess if, the theory that was out there was if they are trying to add at left tackle via the trade market, maybe DTR is the more valuable asset that you can trade for something like that. So that's kind of where it all stems from. But I still sit here today, 6 days out from the deadline to cut the roster down to 53 players. I still think that Dorian Thompson-Robinson is on that final iteration of the roster come next Tuesday.
So let me ask you this. There's a game you have to win this year, and we'll make it really ridiculous. A game you have to win this year to get into the playoffs. You can either start Tyler Huntley or you can start Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Who are you starting?
I love this question. Ooh.
I have my answer.
I think I would say DTR just because I think he's looked, and again, I'm going off of like last year was last year. I understand my hope is that he continues to grow. I think you've seen some of that in the preseason. I don't want to use the preseason as my reasoning because it's the preseason.
Right.
We know you can't really divulge too much from any of these games, especially when the team's kind of telling you that they don't matter either. But I think I'd say DTR because I do think he's improved. And I think his improvements from year one when you're a rookie, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you kind of get thrust into a situation week 4 when Deshaun gets hurt. That's out of the blue, and you're sort of thrown to the wolves a little bit there. I think like we're going to see steady progress from him to the point where I would trust him in that spot. But I'm guessing you're going to go Huntley here.
Yeah, I'd go Huntley. And the reason is he's seen a little bit more regular season game plan, and he's a threat with his legs. I still wouldn't be surprised if there's a short yardage package, a goal line package, a red zone package that they have that has Tyler Huntley. Because remember, Ken Dorsey was doing some things with Josh Allen. That's kind of what I go back to when I think about Tyler Huntley. And again, I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson is an NFL quarterback. I am in no way saying that he's not. I just don't know that if push, you're in win now mode if you're the Browns. And I think I would keep the guy that I would be more comfortable having to turn to Huntley. And again, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I disagree with you, but I understand where you're coming from as well.